What's happening, everyone? TomGorian here. Welcome to episode number 30 of the F124 Alpine to Glory. We could be drivers champion in today's video. However, we're dealing with a grid penalty. As you can see, the gap between me and Max Verstappen is 24 points in the Drivers' Championship. If we score 2 or more points than Max Verstappen today, I think we should be guaranteed the World Drivers' Champion, considering that there are only 2 races left. We didn't get involved in the sprint, qualifying, or the race. However, we've still got a job to do. So, 30 episodes in, it's time to finish the story and win the World Championship. Let's do this.
Atmospheric tracks don't come much better than this. We're in Brazil for qualifying. Let's get some laps at the limit.
We're not bothering with sprint qualifying or the sprint itself. We're getting straight into the action here in qualifying for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And yeah, practice, most of the practice was pretty much done on the Friday and the Saturday before the RFL League race. That video should be up quite soon. So as far as the setup and me being dialed in, I should be at my absolute best today. So coming across the line for the first lap here at Sao Paulo, 106.7. We go P6 actually, just over 3 tenths away from, I believe, pole position, which is Charles Leclerc, believe it or not. So the Ferraris do have pace. However, we don't really care about the Ferraris. I don't care about the McLarens. I only care about Max Verstappen. If I can out-qualify him, then that would be good, and hopefully Verstappen can take a grid penalty as well, so that can make the playing field a little bit more even. We're going to start literally minimum P11, so hopefully we can get qualifying so that the 10-place grid penalty for the component change to the turbocharger can be reduced, entering the end of Sector 1 as we approach turn 4, and as you can see, we've gained 3.5 tenths. So in order to get pole position, I believe we need 6 tenths as we come across the fast right-hander into 6th gear and then downshift in towards 3rd as you take a tight line. I think Verstappen is currently on pole position right now, so we need this lap here. As you can see, we are nearly 4 tenths up as we approach the end of Sector 2. This tight hairpin once again. Early shift into 4th gear for better traction, and we are gaining slight time as we enter downhill in towards the Cena del Lago, as David Croft would say. Up the hill, take a wide entry onto the curb, and then up the hill you go, and then use all of the battery that you have left. This has not been a bad lap. We are going to be nearly 5.5 tenths up. Is this going to be pole position now as we come across the line? 106.1. Is that pole position? Is it good enough? Yes, it is. Pole position for the Brazilian Grand Prix. However, it will be a 10-place grid penalty, so we will be starting P11 on the grid for Sunday's race. And as you can see, look at the gap there. Half a tenth clear from Charles Leclerc, and 6 thousandths away from Max Verstappen itself. So we know what we need to do. Let's head into the race.
Welcome to where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner, and just 1 year later, Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's time then for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We're racing then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3 that gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Russell, Gasly, Perez, Norris, Ocon, Sainz, Thomas, Stroll, Joe, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Hamilton, Albon, Vesti, and Yuki Tsunoda. That's it then. It's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And we welcome you to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and I'm joined by Anthony Davidson. Well, they're having a better time than their teammates so far this year. How do you keep that momentum going? Well, it's all about forgetting last time, because that was a bit of a shocker. How do they change the story today?
You've got to put it behind you. Whatever happened last time.
If there's one thing that this race is all about, it is covering off Max Verstappen at all costs. We can't afford to do a different strategy against him. We have to stick to what he is doing. The strategy is soft to medium. Now, I don't know how bad the softs are. Apparently, they are quite bad since I used both sets in qualifying, and I don't know how many sets of soft tyres I used in the sprint and in the sprint race, considering that I didn't do anything. But, however, we have to find a way to beat Max Verstappen. In the previous episode, he was unstoppable. There is confirmation he is starting soft and going medium. Leclerc's going medium. Gasly is going soft as well. We have to track him at all times.
The formation lap gets underway, and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. Make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out. Let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one. It will go down as a memorable Grand Prix.
So this is it then. 30 races down, 30 episodes down, and we could clinch the driver's title today. I don't think the constructors will be wrapped up just yet. However, we need Red Bull to double DNF, and I don't think that's going to happen. However, the most important thing today, we're starting P10, is to try and beat Max Verstappen. As long as he doesn't score more than 2 points, we should clinch the driver's title. Away we go now for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's a decent start by us as well, pretty much normal. Norris hasn't had a good start. Sainz trying to go down the inside of Lando Norris. We're going to overtake both of them. We're going to also overtake Esteban Ocon as well, and also Pierre Gasly, as well as Sergio Perez. So that is his teammate. That's Max's teammate, done and dusted. We're already into 6th place. As we end the first sector, let's try and go down the inside of George Russell. We do a bit of contact there. He turns in on us, and we have went from 10th all the way to 5th in the span of a sector, which is the perfect start we need. Esteban Ocon in the V-Carb is in P4, so hopefully we can try and dispatch him very quickly. Notice, keep your eyes on the mini-map. As you can see, Charles Leclerc is leading, but Max is behind him. Especially when DRS gets enabled, Max will pretty much fly past that Ferrari. We've got to try and stick with the Red Bull if we want to try and win this race and win the title for the first time in this game. Around the outside, in towards turn 1 on Esteban Ocon. And if you did enjoy that overtake, then consider it. Like this video and subscribe for more F1 content as we approach the end of F1 24 and the launch of F1 25 in the next couple of months. Fast lap goes towards a 1:08.546, and as you can see, Verstappen is through on Charles Leclerc. That is not what we needed. However, Verstappen is not getting away. Remember, me and Max Verstappen are on the same tyre strategies. We're both on softs, and we might be struggling towards the end of the stint. As we begin lap 4, we're going to dive down the inside of Fernando Alonso. We can't match the AI in straight line performance, so we've got to match them under braking, and we get the job done on Fernando Alonso as we climb into 3rd place. However, with 3rd place and the fast lap, the title will go down to Portugal in the finale of the Alpine to glory. As we approach 1:09.8, can we dive down the inside of Charles Leclerc? No, we don't, as we get our first race objective to keep fuel above 38.57 kilograms. I'm not really bothered about fuel. We should be making it to the end with or without safety cars, as Leclerc actually does us a favour, goes down the inside of Max Verstappen here, and this is the opening that we needed. He goes a little bit wide, and we go around the outside to try and switch back on Charles Leclerc. That is potentially second. However, with the slipstream, DRS and overtake, Max goes defensive. We're going to go around the outside in towards turn 4 to take the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix, but Verstappen is fighting back. Bit of contact there as we go a little bit wide and track extend. No damage done, but we take the lead here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. And if the race ends as it is right now, we are drivers' champion for the first time in this series. However, there is still a long way to go. Verstappen and Leclerc both have DRS. There goes Max Verstappen around the outside. Charles Leclerc's going to try and follow him. We're going to try and force Verstappen the long way round, as Verstappen has done so many times this season. And there you go. Leclerc is now back into second place, and this is what exactly we need. We don't know exactly at this point in the recording. I'm unsure as far as how many points I need to overthrow Max Verstappen, but all I know is that as long as I finish ahead of Max, then I should be the world champion with one race to go yet. So, however, lap 12 and the soft tyres, they are completely died off. But we had no other choice. We had to start on the same tyre compound as Max Verstappen, because we knew that the AI, like Max's AI in this game, is so overpowered. It's unbelievable. I mean, you saw literally the race in Mexico. By the way, if you haven't watched it, make sure you go and watch it before you watch this. But Max on F124 on the higher difficulties is some hard car to beat, I'll tell you that right now. So anyway, strategy now done. Softs, mediums. We've got to go 23 laps on the medium tyres. They will be cooked towards the end of the race. However, the tyre wear, we shouldn't be getting punches or anything, especially considering that we are running slightly higher front wings compared to the AI. And we're beginning with a double overtake on Kevin Magnussen, and obviously Frederick Festi in the Williams running inside of 10-1, and that is P18 for us. We have to try and nail these laps, because if we get held up in traffic, especially in Sector 2, like we are now, as you can see Pierre Gasly is coming into the box, we might lose this race. So we need to try and clear this traffic as soon as possible, if we want any chance of overtaking Max Verstappen. Shogun Yu goes around the outside. He goes defensive, and we have to go around the outside of the kick Sauber. Where is Pierre Gasly? He is coming out the pit lane now, so we jumped Pierre Gasly, and also we have jumped who is that Sergio Perez? I think that is Sergio Perez, who was boxed on that lap. So now lap 16 and Max Verstappen is in. So hopefully now we get the DRS on Lewis Hamilton, we get the slipstream, and we do get the overtake around the outside once again in towards 10-1. However, where is Verstappen? He's still in the box, and we have now jumped Lewis Hamilton into the pit lane. And as you can see there, Verstappen is coming out of 10-1, and he is, I believe, he's ahead of that McLaren. No, he's behind us, sorry. He's behind us. He is 4.5 seconds behind us as we take the race lead for the first time all race. And there's Verstappen, 108.4 on the medium tyres right there. Fast lap of the race. However, the points deficit, it won't be enough. I believe if we win the race, and even Verstappen with the fast lap, we will take the driver's title. I need Pierre Gasly to really, get his act together and really try and finish on the podiums. However, the title will pretty much go down towards to Portugal for the constructors' title. However, Max was driving insanely quick. As you can see, the gap is now already 2.5 seconds. I'm in hot lap, and I'm trying to push as hell, but I just can't match Verstappen. I'm constantly doing, high 8s, probably 8.7, 8.8, even a 9 flat. But by literally lap 24 with 11 laps to go, as you can see, Verstappen has DRS, and we're not going to beat Max Verstappen on pace. We're not going to do it today. He's clearly too quick once again on 106 difficulty. Very quick, as you can see, 109.7. We did have a 2-lap undercut on Max, but now the tyres are starting to wear the rage. With 11 laps to go, we're not going to beat Max Verstappen on pure pace, so now we're going to beat him by slowing him down. We're going to hold him up in towards sector 2, save the battery, and hopefully bring Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, and my teammate Pierre Gasly into this race. I need Gasly to finish 4th or better to take the constructors down in towards Portugal in the finale. So hopefully we can try and save our battery by putting it in on, holding Verstappen up, and just making sure that we set ourselves up for the straight, because Max will have DRS and he's so overpowered on the straight. So the more battery that we can save, the better. And as you can see, we are saving quite a lot, already 55% battery there, nearly 60% battery as we approach the end of sector 2 on lap 27, and we're still in the lead. So as long as we can get a good exit, and as long as, speaking of getting good exits, Charles Leclerc has got a good exit. Let's see what happened here. So Charles Leclerc gets the curb and it just half spins, and unfortunately for Charles Leclerc, all of the work that I've done is now down the toilet. However, Pierre Gasly has now gained a position in this race. So now Gasly is into 4th. However, I've now got to hold on for the next 8 laps to try and fend off Max Verstappen. I'm going to go defensive. Verstappen has DRS. He's not going to really push this lap, however, he's going to try and go down the inside. Is the Red Bull driver in towards turn 1. We're not going to flinch here. We have the inside line. However, he is setting himself up for turn 3. And Verstappen has the slipstream. However, with the overtake, we're going to cover him off right there. And that is a sector survived. We've got to watch out for the front tyres as well as the rear tyres, and making sure that when we do drive slowly, we're not really burning our tyres to the point where Max's tyre wear is on par with us. We're going to try and burn the battery now. As you can see, Verstappen with DRS and overtake and the straight line speed of that Red Bull. Verstappen goes through. I think he's got no battery left. It's either that or he's saving. However, we're going to force Verstappen wide. We're not going to turn in like Nico Rosberg, and therefore Verstappen has to concede. And this was pretty much the strategy for the remaining last couple of races, or last couple of laps in this race. Once again, burn the battery, go defensive. Verstappen with the DRS, and Verstappen takes the lead once again. I think he's saving his battery in towards turn 1. Lift off the throttle, open the steering, and therefore make his entry into turn 2 wide, and therefore he's just lost around about 2 tenths as well. So once again, lap 33, 3 laps to go to try and win this championship, and the pressure is absolutely insane. I've got Max Verstappen behind me, I've got Fernando Alonso behind him, and soon I've got Pierre Gasly. But meanwhile, Verstappen takes the lead. We make a bit of contact there in towards turn 1. He goes slightly defensive in towards the first corner. We force him wide again, and now Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin. This is perfect. Alonso is now ahead of Verstappen, all because of our hard work defensively, and now we've got to try and give Fernando the slipstream, because if Max finishes third, that does us wonders in the Constructors' Championship, and that wraps up the drivers, and Verstappen is now dropped down into P3. So now all the pressure is now on Verstappen to try and overtake me and overtake Fernando Alonso with a couple of corners to go. Final lap here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Gasly is now literally all over Verstappen as well. So now this becomes a matter of saving the battery and making sure I don't spin out of the final corner, and just using all the battery and hoping I have enough straight line speed to try and win this race. Because if Alonso overtakes us, then the title might go down towards Portugal. However, we do get a good exit though. We have to burn all of the battery we have available, and hopefully Fernando doesn't catch us up. We're going to go ultra defensive, stay to the left hand side possible. The checkered flag is out. We are drivers' champions.
Now we can fight. Oh, you are my hero! You're my hero! You've done it! All of that work has come down to this, and you are the world champion. Great stuff!
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. That's a spectacular victory then, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today.
You always look back at a race like this and think, if I'd just made that mistake there or locked up here, there would have been contact. And every one of those overtakes is a moment where you have to absolutely nail it, perfect it, and that's exactly what they're able to do today. Great stuff indeed.
As today's winners make their way up the podium steps, the folks at Alpine have shown once again just what it takes to build a successful Formula One team. A well-deserved win for them.
A well-deserved win indeed, and that was quite insane. That was quite insane. Max on this game on 106 is absolutely insane, and I had to do literally everything to try and just slow him down, because if he would have passed me, then it would have been literally game over as far as our race is concerned, and of course the title would have went down to Portugal. However, the deal is done. A 7th win, I believe, of this season of career mode. It's a double podium as well. it's a double podium as well. Well, actually, it's not a double podium. Gasly scored 4th, but he scored the 3rd most points. And as you can see, Verstappen didn't score any in the sprint race, which means that going into this race, there was no net or loss, or gain or loss, or anything. And yeah, 30 episodes in, and drivers champions for Alpine. We did it last game on F1 23 with Haas, and now we've done it with Alpine on F1 24, and there is confirmation. 33 points is enough by 7 to win the World Championship with 1 race to go. However, 9 points, we are behind by 9, entering the final round at Portugal, and a 1-2 finish, and that should pretty much do it. So hopefully we can claim the constructors in the Alpine to glory, but the Drivers' Championship is officially done. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave like, share, comment and subscribe for more F1 24 Alpine to glory content, and I'll see you all in the season finale in Portimao in a bit.